Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, here again to regale you with another video. Yes, indeed, and this will be the last of this recording segment of videos, hence why I'm still wearing the Five Nights at Freddy's orange foxy shirt. Yes, indeed, Professor Macabro wishes that he had a dedicated recording booth or studio, and that he had a dedicated schedule so he can record. That's the live goal, yes indeed, to get paid for recording my videos. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, Professor Macabro has to grind at a horrible work with horrible pay and horrible hours so that he can make ends meet and pay for electricity and Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff, and the booze and the movies and the other life priorities. So time is very limited, so whenever I have a chance to record, that's what I do, hence why I am now having to be seen 5 videos straight with the same Foxy shirt. And, instead of changing, it's a thing. The life of a simple mortal person that has to work for a living is not good. But one day, I will get paid for recording my videos, and then I'll have all the free time in the world, and the production value will go up like it did during lockdown. One day. But in the meantime, I am here to regale you with the last of the videos that I record for this series. Yes, indeed. Had fun talking about a movie with elements that I like, but terrible characters. And 2 movies that I blind bought and very much enjoyed. Yes, indeed. We also took a look at a booze that I don't particularly like, but it was on sale. And if you really want to get drunk, it gets the job done. And in that vein, I also picked up on a different occasion this thing. Whenever Professor Macabro goes to the U.S., I tend to go to a Target and I see what's there, what's on sale, what can I afford. And I also go to Walmart. And also at Walmart, I see what's on sale, what I can afford, and what I can get on the cheap. Yes, indeed. And in one of those instances, I came across this. Now, this is not a particular booze that I partake a lot. My favorite go-to drink is rum. I like rum. Rum and Coke, or rum with other type of sodas. Delicious. It also makes me feel like a pirate. Ahoy, me mateys. If not, I go with the good old tried and tested whiskey, Jack Daniels. Yes, indeed, that's my go-to. Or recently, Crown Royal if I find it cheap. Yes, indeed, those are my... Crown Royal is one of my new favorite whiskeys. I'm legitimately upset with myself and how long it took for me to actually find Crown Royal and actually, partake in its deliciousness. Yes, indeed. But I also come across stuff that I give a chance and buy cheap. Such is the case with today's review, the Christian Brothers Brandy. Now, this is a big, hefty bottle. Usually, the bottles that I partake for rum and whiskeys are 750 milliliters. This is a chunky... How much is this? 1 liter and 75 milliliters. So it's literally twice and a little bit more of what I usually take. And it was cheap. Bought this out of Walmart. And the bottle looked cool. And the liquid inside was a nice, delicious looking golden elixir. And the bottle looked really cool. I really, really like this. Maybe it's a decanter. It's really cool, and it has these stickers that I can peel off, and I can just use the bottle for a Halloween decoration, or again, as a decanter. I really like the bottle design on this. It looks all fancy, and it was on sale. And I was like, well, I think I want to give this a shot. And this is brandy. It's not something that I particularly take. One time, I got very drunk with wine. And let me tell you, getting drunk with wine is not a good idea the next day. Thankfully, I praise whatever dark gods shine upon me, that I don't get hangovers. No matter how much I drink and drink and drink and drink, as long as I don't mix booze, I never get a hangover the next day. And what I mean with mixing is like, I don't mix vodka with rum and whiskey. You don't want to do that, or wine. You don't want to mix your drinks, or beer. Jesus Christ, don't do that. If you're gonna drink, only drink one type of booze. If you want to get drunk, only get drunk with beer. If you want to get drunk, only get drunk with rum. you want to get drunk, only get drunk with vodka or whiskey. But don't mix your booze, because that's what really gets you. Also, Professor Macabre, before going to sleep, after a very, very Herculean amount of booze that he partakes on Fridays, and only on Fridays, before going to sleep, I drink some water. Your body gets dehydrated from the booze and the soda that I use. So drink some water before going to bed, and that will also help, at least it helps for me, to not get a horrible hangover the next day. But the 2 times that I have gotten, well, 3 times that I have gotten really bad hangovers is when I indeed mixed drinks. I did indeed mix on one occasion in my earlier years of a young adult. I drank beer, I drank vodka, I drank whiskey, I drank mixed cocktails like martinis and pina coladas, and I paid for it the next day. Yes, indeed. And the other 2 times was drinking wine. Don't get drunk with wine. The sugar in wine will fuck you up the next day. And the 3rd and final time I got a hangover is when I drank a 12-pack of Bud Light. It was during the boycott area, and the 12-pack of Bud Light was super cheap, and I was like, well, it's as cheap as I've ever seen any beer, and I paid for it the next day. Oh boy, never drinking Bud Light again, let me tell you. But I've never drank Brandy. Well, no, that's not true. I drank Presidente, which is a Mexican brandy, but not another version of brandy, except when I came across this. And again, it was on sale, the bottle was good, and the amount was insane. 1 liter and 75 milliliters of booze. I was like, holy shit, this is gonna last me a good long while. I'm gonna get it. So, I rang the person. Because at Walmart, rightly so, everything's under lock and key, and you have to press a little button for someone to come get the booze out, and then they redirect you to where you can pay it, and that's what I did. And when I get home, I was super excited to crack this thing open. And as soon as I served it on the rocks, which is just a glass with ice, I immediately got disappointed. Yes, indeed. And it wasn't until afterwards, when I finally got home and I was drinking it on the rocks, that I partook on the fine print on this thing, which you really should read. And it says, brandy with natural flavors and caramel coloring. And I was like, oh, crap. A few rums also add artificial coloring to give it a certain type of look. And unfortunately, that artificial coloring attributes or is meant to hide the cheapness of the booze. It's been my experience. Every time I come across something that has artificial caramel coloring, I'm like, shit, that's not good. That's not good. I should have read that fine print. But I persevered, and on the rocks, well, it was the equivalent of Presidente. Presidente, again, is a budget brandy that you could buy here in the grand old country of Mexico. It was very popular during the 80s and the 90s to mix it with Coke. Every party and quinceañera had Presidente with Coke. It was a staple because it was really good back in the day. It was quite delicious. And everyone bought it. It was the highest selling booze in Mexico. Unfortunately, when demand exceeds supply, and the companies start getting greedy, they start cheaping out on the product, lowering cost, adding preservatives and colorers and other shit, adulterating the deliciousness of the booze to produce more, and they charge more for it. And unfortunately, you get a product that is a mere shadow of it was before. Such is the case when the last time I bought Presidente. I was like, oh, Presidente, I remember that. It was quite delicious, and no, it wasn't. That bottle of Presidente took me a long while to finish because it was just awful. Not good. No. But unfortunately, that was the case with this. On the rocks, it was not tasty. No. Oh, man. I tried powering through that glass of ice that I served, and it was just, you could really taste the artificial coloring. And it wasn't good on the rocks. No, No. But then I decided, well, that was a god-awful experience. I need to water this down with some soda. And as opposed to Presidente, this actually tasted a little bit better with soda. I tried Pepsi because I didn't have Coke on hand, and it was adequate. It didn't taste as bad, but unfortunately, it did taste a lot. It brought up the sodiness of the Pepsi. So you already had the coloring of the Pepsi and the coloring of this thing, and well, it was not a very pleasant experience. But if you put a lot of ice in it, and you put a little bit of this and a little bit of soda, well, it's not that bad. And thankfully, I didn't get a hangover the next day, because again, I don't know what dark god I have to thank or, be worried about that I don't get hangovers that often, except the 3 times that I mentioned. But, yes, I didn't get a hangover, but I didn't enjoy that drinking. No. They have other flavors of this. They have a regular 750 milliliter bottle, which is what I probably should have bought. But again, this big-ass bottle was on sale, and I thought, quantity over quality, and I decided to take a chance on this, and it didn't quite pan out. But they also have a honey flavor, which, good God, I can't even imagine how that's going to taste. With probably more artificial flavoring on top of the artificial flavoring that it already has. And they also have a peach flavor, so I don't think I still haven't tried Jack Daniel's honey or apple for the same reasons. I don't want to fuck up a good thing. I like regular Jack Daniel's, good old Formula number 9. So I've never tried the apple or the honey variants of Jack Daniel's. And with having an experience with this, I don't think I will partake on the peach or the honey versions of Christian Brothers Brandy. It doesn't taste like, to the best of my knowledge, brandy is made out of grapes. It's a different method than doing wine. Instead of making wine, you make brandy with grapes. And I can tell you, this thing does taste nothing like grapes. Not a whiff of grape was in this brandy. It was just booze, and you can really taste the coloring. At least I could taste the coloring. But not pleasant. Not pleasant on the rocks. And even as a mixer, it took a little bit to get through. I tried mixing it with Coke, and that made it somehow worse, because it just brought up more flavor of the soda and the cheap brandy. And I tried with other sodas, flavored sodas. Tried with Dr. Pepper was not a good idea with this brandy. I tried everything I could to plow through that thing and finish it as quick as I could so I can buy another bottle, because I don't buy another booze until I finish the booze I bought. So it's a way to keep myself from buying a lot of alcohol and having it around the house, tempting me to maybe drink more. I buy one bottle, and until I don't finish that bottle in 1, 2, 3, or 4 Fridays, do I buy another bottle. Yes, indeed. And boy, that 1 liter and 7,500 milliliters sound like a good thing, but when the booze is not good, it's not bueno. So, on the tasty, not so tasty brandy score, on the rocks, I'm going to give it the same as a Captain Morgan. It gets a 6. Not delightful, not pleasant. I had to wait for the ice to melt so that the thing would be watered down enough so that I could drink it through. And then it was kind of warm, and it sucked even worse. And with soda, well, I'm going to repeat the Captain Morgan. It also gets a 7. It took a while to fine-tune the amount of booze to soda to ice ratio. Let me tell you, it was a lot of ice and a lot of soda and very little brandy, but that meant that I would have more brandy. That bottle would last me a lot more. So, yes, a chore to get through it. I would not recommend this. Even as a brandy, it doesn't taste good as a brandy. As a mixer, it didn't taste that good. And, again, what really I think affects it is the caramel coloring. Any booze that has added coloring for flavor or for color, it's not going to be good. They're trying to desperately hide something that is just not there, and such is the case with this. So, if you're a fan of Christian Brothers, I apologize. That's just my 2 cents on this particular brand that I do not recommend. No. Have you tried Christian Brothers Brandy or one of the variants, the apple or the peach variants? Did you like it? Let me know why did you like it. What did I do wrong with this particular a brand of booze that just didn't do it for me, let me know in the comments down below. But until I see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro thanking you and wishing you all, like always, a good evening.